Hello, everyone. We are back, and I am now joined by Miss Brittany Williams. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Brittany, talk about your amazing career that you've had. Fitness instructor, you are a contest trainer, and you've held some titles, so we definitely want to hear all about that.
Yeah, I don't know how great the career is. I'm still going. I'm still going with it. It actually started with the pageant world, and I was not a young, like, Toddlers and Tiaras girl. I started really, really late. I was in college, about to graduate college when I got into the pageant thing.
You were an old maid, right?
I
college.
was. Well, in the pageant world, it is kind of old, unfortunately. That's the sad part of it, because the age cutoff is, for some of the major pageants, it's like 26, 27 years old.
So what were some of those pageants you participated in?
The first one I did was Virginia, USA. That's where I'm from, Virginia. And then I moved out here to Vegas, and I did Vegas, USA. Or Nevada, USA, Nevada, United States, and then that's when I went on to win Miss United States after, obviously, the preliminary to that. So that was a few years ago. I am.
When did this light come on that you decided to go down this path? What were you doing prior to that, and then what kind of got you started down that road?
I was in college, like I said. I was definitely a tomboy, so that's why it's people that know me from before any of this are like, how did this happen? Because I was not the girly girl. I didn't wear dresses, I didn't wear makeup, I didn't do all that kind of stuff. But it was something that I thought was interesting and different.
Okay.
So I'm like, let's try to do something outside of the box. I'm gonna, I'm a grown woman now. I'm about to graduate from college. Let's, see what's out there in the world. So I did that, and that was one of the reasons, but it was also just my own personal insecurity. I was looking for something outside of me to give me some validation, I guess, as a woman. And I know that now, and I say that now. I don't think I actually knew that at the time when I decided to pursue that, but I always go back to the pageant world, and I'm very thankful for that experience, because it allowed me to see that that's what I was looking for, and that's what I was doing. Then after all of that, drama happened with, not winning and just kind of feeling really bad about myself and kind of dealing with some of that stuff. I think it became more of a thing for me to kind of be like, okay, I got this. I'm going to kind of go in with a different mindset and not let something else validate me, but just go in strong. Let me have myself together for me, not for someone else, and just kind of prove that point. Funny enough, when I started doing that, that's when I started having success in it. So that's why I always
Is that when that gear shifted to training other people?
No, I don't think it even happened then. It didn't happen then. I did some more pageant stuff. I had a good time with it. I got into the fitness world after I was kind of like over the pageant thing. But I guess you're never really... I'm never really out of it, because I keep finding myself coming back to it. But I got into the fitness world just a few years ago, as far as the competitive side of it. And I've always been, like I said, in sports. I was a personal trainer for briefly, but I just really got into me competing and training myself to be on the stage, because I like the stage.
I can tell that. I can.
Lights and stuff,
There's nothing wrong with that. What about the contest training that you've done?
So I started. I tend to jump off the deep end when I do stuff, just go hard or go home. I did Fitness America, so it was the first show that I did. It was the big show of the year. I'm like, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. It's here in Vegas, so I thought, hey, it's easy. It's local. It's going to be cheaper than traveling somewhere. Let's just see what happens. I did that. I did very well, and then I'm like, oh yeah. So I did this with not really a whole lot of knowledge of what was going on, and then that's when I can tell you when that light turned on for the fitness stuff. And that year I did a few shows. Well, the following year I did a few shows, then went to Fitness Universe in Miami, and that's where I got my pro card. So I think that year is when I was like, okay.
What is that? What is a pro card?
That's when you can compete in amateur shows. Anybody, no matter whatever level, you can go and compete. Once you win a certain show at a certain level, a pro qualifier, if you win overall, or if it's big enough, your certain division, then you will be considered pro.
Okay.
So you can only compete now in the bigger shows against other people that are pro.
Where are you at right now in your career?
Where am I in my career? I don't know where I am. I have no idea. Just enjoying I'm still enjoying being on stage, but then also just taking the knowledge that I have and trying to share with a lot of other people. And it's whether they want to compete or whether they just want to just be healthier and just like feel better about themselves and with life. So I think my competing stuff now, I am always competitive. I'm always going to be competitive, but I think for me at this point, it's more just kind of being out there and just still being in the loop of things so then I can take experiences and bring them back to mostly kids and young women, which is actually right after we leave here, I'm going to run down to one of the schools that we work with a group of young ladies who are from 12 to like 14 years old, and just started working with them with my program.
Oh, so you're collaborating with the schools?
Yes.
Great.
So yeah, and with Lance and with Cultural Arts Training Foundation, we are just trying to take all the people that we know from different organizations and programs and just bringing everybody together that just want to help, because we all have something to share. We all have different experiences, but at the end of the day, I think we all just kind of want to help. We all have a calling to help and to reach out, especially to kids and people that don't necessarily have the resources that we've been blessed to have.
Talk about your upcoming event that you have.
Well, upcoming, so I am directing. I don't think I mentioned that. So
No, you absolutely didn't.
See, I told you, we're
withholding
career. I'm
information.
everywhere. I'm all over the place. I don't know what I'm doing right now. I don't know what I want to do when I grow up. So I'm directing the Miss Nevada Earth pageant.
Oh,
so that's a
okay.
preliminary to the Miss Earth organization. So that's coming up April 22nd.
Okay.
So a lot of work to do, getting those girls ready and producing the whole event. Then I will be on stage in June to compete at Fitness Universe in Miami. So once I get this one done here, then I'm like, all right, now it's back to me getting on top of it and doing my crazy workouts. And
How are you involved in Multicultural Arts Center?
oh, with Lance?
Yes.
Cultural Arts Training Foundation. You know what? We met years ago. We started just putting together programs. We just kind of hit it off. Very similar interests.
Sure.
Training, working with youth, and we just started collaborating on different events and different programs. So just like this school, that was, through Lance. He's the one that introduced me to the organization there. And we just kind of go from there. We find stuff to go do and people to help. And
Where do you
we
see yourself
help.
evolving like a couple of years from now? What do you want to be doing?
Oh my gosh. I'll probably be doing a lot of what I'm doing now, but I've been writing. I need to just tie up loose ends on things. So writing books, more public speaking. I think that's where I'll
Are you writing
be.
books about fitness, or what are some of your books going to be about?
Well, the one that I am working on right now, it is kind of a combination of my life experiences through the pageant world and through the competition world. And it kind of goes back to what I was talking about with my own experience and how I've evolved through competing. And it's something for people that want to compete in pageants. So you can see, I guess, I don't know, the good, bad, and the ugly. You see the pretty stuff all the time on TV and everything you imagine, everything being great. You see the other side of it too. But they're life lessons that come through, so anybody can kind of get an understanding and kind of have some introspection of themselves. And, why do we look at ourselves a certain way? Why do we feel certain things?
Absolutely.
Those type. I think that's important for us as women, young women, all women, men too, but I'm just speaking, from my own experience. We look at everybody else, what everybody else is doing. Look at Instagram, you see these great pictures, you don't necessarily know what's on the other side of those pictures. Sometimes pictures aren't even real, and then you
Very true.
judge yourself based upon something that you don't have any idea, what the context necessarily. So that's really important to me, to make sure girls know that.
Absolutely.
And, they're just confident, healthy within themselves, not necessarily comparing to an image.
Yeah, I think that's such an important message to send to girls today.
Yeah.
The importance of self-imagery and being positive and appreciating their own assets.
Absolutely.
So we're going to have Miss Brittany back on the next segment. So stick around and we'll be right back.